spending the night with me.
It's Sonia.elsie here. So for today's video, I wanted to talk about how I stay vegan while traveling. This is a question that I get all the time whenever I travel or post traveling vlogs. I always get questions that are like, how do you stay vegan in this country? How is it being vegan? And I try to post what I eat in a day, but I thought that I would do like a full sit down video where I just tell you guys my tips, and then after that I'm going to go through all the different countries that I have gone to and just kind of explain how being vegan was and different things to look out for and what my favorite vegan options and restaurants were. So yeah, let's get the video started. Overall, my experience being vegan while traveling hasn't been as hard as I thought that it would. I thought that it would be super hard. There's definitely been times where there haven't been vegan options and I've kind of struggled a little bit, but it is a lot easier than I thought that it would be. So yes, I've compiled all of my tips and I am coming to you with them today. So my very first tip would be to bring snacks if at all possible. If you are flying to a different country and you don't really know what the vegan options are going to be, or you don't know if there's going to be food in the airport, then I would recommend that you pack snack bars in your purse or your carry-on bag, and in your checked bag I would recommend packing extra snack bars, packing maybe some noodle things. If you know what your cooking situation is going to be, then just pack food accordingly that you know you'll be able to cook. Like for example, if you know that your hotel or Airbnb is going to have a stove or a microwave or something, then you can always pack microwavable oatmeal, microwavable meals, like little ramen things that are vegan. Just packing lots of snack bars has saved my life so many times. Snack bars I've had no problem bringing through security. I never have an issue. I think it's because they're not liquid. You usually have to watch out with bringing liquids. I don't think you can bring liquids at all. And different fruits, if it's a very liquidy fruit, I don't think you would bring it. I think that some fruits you can bring, but I'm not quite sure what the rules are. So just look up the rules depending on what country you're going to, what airline you're flying. It can be different like with every airport or whatever. So yeah, just make sure to look up the rules. But a lot of food I've actually been able to bring. I've literally brought burritos, I've brought in snack bars, I've brought in chocolate, I've brought in like, I think dried fruit. I've even brought dried fruit. So yeah, just do your research and bring snacks. When I was flying to Paris, they didn't really have much of a vegan option for me. They had literally bread on the airplane. So I just brought out my snack bars and I brought out a burrito that I brought, and I was set to go. I was ready. I actually had food. So yeah, that was great. Snack bars can also help if you are walking around a lot and you don't really know about the vegan options. You just have those with you. If you get hungry, you can eat them. It is very terrible being undercarbed. I hate being hungry. So having just a quick snack bar is really, really awesome. The next tip that I have for you is to call your airline, and if it's a long flight, if it's gonna be multiple hours, they usually give you a meal, and make sure that you ask for the vegan meal. Sometimes the vegan meal is called vegetarian, no dairy meal, or just vegetarian meal. But yeah, I always call and ask for the vegan meal, or you can go online. If you booked your ticket online, you can usually check an option to have a vegan meal. Most big airlines now do this, which I feel like is really awesome. The thing is, the vegan option is usually not the best. You will look over at someone else's food and it looks totally normal, smells nice, and then you get your food and you're like, what the fuck is this? But usually there are at least a few things that are tasty. If you do enjoy airplane food, then maybe it'll be good to you. But yeah, there's usually some rice, some vegetables. They usually give you a fruit cup, which I always love. They'll give you a piece of bread and some vegan butter, like margarine, which you can put on the bread, and then that tastes good. So yeah, if you're doing a long flight, just call and ask and see if there is a vegan option, and if you're put on that list, then they give you the food in advance before everyone else, which is like, this is good because usually where I struggle the most with vegan options is on the airplane or in the airport. So either having the snack bars in advance for the airport, or just calling and seeing if there is a vegan option on the airplane so you know whether or not to bring like a full meal on the airplane or not. The next tip that I would have, this video is not sponsored, but would be to utilize the internet or apps. And my favorite app that I use whenever I'm traveling is called Happy Cow. Basically, it'll show you vegan restaurants, vegetarian restaurants, vegan option restaurants and different grocery stores around you that do have vegan options, and I love this app. When I went to Shanghai, I used this app and I discovered that there were so many different vegan restaurants around me. I didn't really expect Shanghai to have a lot of vegan options, but surprisingly they had a huge amount of vegan restaurants and vegan option restaurants and vegetarian restaurants. So yeah, I was super excited by that. Definitely get that app and take advantage of it because it'll really help. Also, just using the internet in general. If you're going to a different country, let's say you're going to France, or maybe you're going to Paris, or maybe you're going to Mexico or something. Literally just go on YouTube and type in vegan what I eat in a day in blank, in this country, this city, whatever you're going to. And usually, like, vegans when they travel, they love to film what they're eating, including me, and will most likely film a what I ate in a day on that because people love to see that. So yeah, I found it really helpful to search for things like that, or vegan restaurants in blank, good vegan grocery stores in whatever city, whatever country you're going to, and you can usually get some ideas, or you get some ideas on what to bring. Even if you just want to know what to bring on an airplane, type in vegan what I eat in a day while traveling. I actually have one of those, so if you'd like to watch it, the link is down below. Yeah, using apps and using the internet to your advantage is really helpful and can just help you with a lot of things. This day and age, people are always documenting what they're eating, what they're doing, like all of that stuff. So yeah, if you are nervous about finding vegan options or vegan restaurants or somewhere, just do research beforehand and maybe have a list in your head or on your phone or something of places that you want to go to. So now I'm going to talk about being vegan in all of the countries that I have been vegan in and how that went and different tips that I have. So recently I went to Hong Kong, and then after that I went to mainland China. I went specifically to Shanghai. And in Hong Kong, the vegan options were really amazing. There were actually quite a few accidentally vegan bread items that I saw in the stores. I don't speak Cantonese, which is like the main language that they speak in Hong Kong, but a lot of people speak English there, so it was very easy for me to ask for the vegan option. Like, I could go to Starbucks and order in English and everyone understood me, which was really awesome. I know it's kind of a typical like American stereotype that Americans go to other countries and are like, oh, like expecting people to speak English. I did not expect anyone to speak English, and I was pleasantly surprised by that. So yeah, I went there and it was very easy for me to be vegan in restaurants and be vegan at Starbucks and ask for soy milk and almond milk. And I went to a lot of different corner stores and it was just kind of looking at the ingredients in certain things. They had the ingredients lists in Chinese, and then they had it also in English, which was really cool. So I was able to look at the ingredients lists and see that there were actually quite a few vegan bread items, which is surprising. I didn't realize that, you know, they wouldn't add eggs or milk to it, but there were like a couple things that I saw that were vegan that were really exciting. There were quite a few vegan restaurants there. I ended up only going to one of them multiple times. That one was Loving Hut, and that was a super amazing restaurant. It was just so good. It had vegan meats and stuff, but it had more of an Asian style than the other Loving Huts that I'd gone to. Loving Hut, I think, is a chain restaurant, and I feel like they do it differently in every country, but the one that I went to in California didn't really taste that good. I wasn't really that impressed by it because I'd heard a lot about it. But when I went to the one in Hong Kong, it was so good and all the flavors were like amazing. And then they also had a little grocery store section, so I bought some oatmeal there and I bought some vegan mooncakes, and the whole restaurant was completely vegan, which was super amazing. And then after that, when I went to Shanghai, it was a little bit harder being vegan, but my dad was with me and he speaks Mandarin Chinese fluently. I don't speak it fluently, but I know a little bit and I can understand some, but I'm not really able to like communicate it that well. So yeah, he was able to translate for me when we went to different restaurants. I would tell him to ask for no meat in the broth, no meat, no seafood, no dairy, no eggs, and he was able to do that. And yeah, it was pretty successful. There weren't really a lot of mistakes that were made. There was one time that we were at a restaurant with our friends and we did order a noodle dish, and it had literally, I didn't even see it until I had eaten a lot of the noodles, but like the tiniest little pieces of meat ever, like just so tiny. I don't know why they would even put them in there if they were that tiny. But yeah, so we were with a lot of people that were able to translate for me, and that was really cool. So yeah, if you do go to another country where you don't speak the language or you don't speak the language fluently, it really helps to have someone with you that can speak the language to translate for you. Or I've never actually used this, but there's this thing called a vegan passport, and it's a little book, and it's in a ton of different languages. I saw it at a vegan grocery store in Paris, and yeah, it has like in a bunch of different languages how to say I'm vegan and I don't eat meat and all of that stuff. So yeah, definitely recommend getting that, or just learning how to say like no meat, no dairy, and just saying that when you're pointing to stuff. What was cool is that there were also a few vegan restaurants that were like by temples. They were considered Buddhist restaurants, and meat is not something that a lot of Buddhists eat. The restaurants were vegetarian but mainly completely vegan, which I thought was really cool. There was one place that I went to where I looked at the menu and almost everything is completely vegan, and they would tell you very specifically if things had eggs in them. I don't think anything had milk, but a few things did have eggs, like certain soups, and you had the option to ask for it without. There was only one time that it was really hard being vegan in Shanghai that I can clearly remember, and that was when I went to Disneyland. There were like no vegan options anywhere, so we had to go get one of the main plate things. I think it was a rice and chicken and egg dish, and we just had to ask for it without chicken and without eggs. And they just put rice with like really sad looking vegetables on them. But it was still food, so I was like, yes, I will eat this. But yeah, other than that, it was pretty easy to be vegan there, and the food was so good. Like, so many people were telling me that it was completely impossible to be vegan in China, and let me just tell you that is a false statement. The vegan food there is amazing. 10 out of 10 would recommend. I really want to go back, and mainly for the food. I just want to try all of the food and experience it again. So about a year ago, I went to Paris with Stella, and that was interesting because that was the first time that I had flown internationally alone. So I was like really stressed that flight, but I did bring burritos, which I didn't refrigerate. They were literally frozen burritos. I put them in my bag. I just let them thaw, and then I ate them, which this is a total health hazard. Like, I don't know why I thought that was a good idea, but once they unthawed, I ate them. Like, it was not good. But yeah, so that was kind of a health hazard, but I did it, and I didn't get sick from it. And I was fine, and I was like, yeah, I have food on the airplane now. And then I also brought snack bars, and yeah, on the way there, they didn't really have a vegan option for me, but on the flight back from Paris to the United States, I did have a vegan meal, and it was pretty good. It was like, it's very standard. I think it was just rice and vegetables and fruit and stuff, just like most of the other vegan meals that I have, but yeah, that was pretty good. And then in Paris, there were a lot of vegan restaurants. I think because we were in like a busier city. I've heard people tell me that in like more remote parts of France, it's harder to be vegan. But yeah, I was able to go to the grocery store. I was able to get baguettes that were vegan and get some avocados. And I also had a friend that I met up with there. Shout out Logan if you're watching this, love you. But yeah, so she kind of guided us through this French grocery store, and she spoke French fluently. I literally did not know any French. Like, I went to Paris, ignorant AF, so I literally downloaded Duolingo and was like teaching myself French in France. It was really funny. But yeah, so she was able to go through the different labels and make sure things were vegan, and I found this really good vegan chocolate there. It had hazelnuts in it. I still dream about it every day. It was like the best chocolate ever. So yeah, and then a few people had DM'd me and recommended me some vegan restaurants. I think my favorite ones were the Hank Vegan Burger and Hank Vegan Pizza, and those were completely vegan restaurants that had vegan burgers and pizza, as you can tell by the name. But yeah, it was so amazing. I'm literally dreaming about the burger right now, and I'm just drooling, but probably the best food ever. That stuff was amazing. And then there was a vegan cafe. I can't remember the name of it, but it had vegan desserts. It was like a bakery, and then it also had vegan hot cocoa and vegan coffees. And it was such a cute little restaurant. Oh my gosh, I miss it so much. I really want to go back to Paris now. I'm just dreaming about it. It wasn't hard to be vegan for me, specifically in Paris. There were so many restaurants, so many options, and if I was super hungry, there was a lot of grocery stores everywhere that had fruit and vegetables, so yeah. After that, I did go to Belgium, and being vegan in Belgium was actually a little bit difficult. I can't even remember what I really did. I think we just had to go to restaurants and just ask for like the bare minimum. I wasn't in Belgium for that long, only for like a couple days, but yeah, I just remember it being really hard. There wasn't really a lot of vegan options. I think I just didn't really know the area also. If any of you guys are from Belgium and you know of good vegan restaurants, then comment them down below because I definitely want to visit again someday. It was really pretty. But yeah, it was hard for me to be vegan there, but they did have, you know, grocery stores like every other place with fruit and vegetables and all of that stuff. So that is kind of how I was vegan there. So anyways, you guys, I hope this video helped some of you guys. If you are vegan and you are thinking about traveling, or you're thinking about traveling to any places that I have been to, then hopefully these tips can help you. If you go to any of the countries that I went to and you tried any of the restaurants that I've mentioned in any vlogs or in this video, then definitely let me know because, I don't know, that would make me so happy. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, give it a like. If you dislike, give it a dislike. Let me know if you like more informational videos like this. I don't really do sit down kind of like informational vegan videos like this that often, so yeah, let me know if you enjoy this style of video and maybe I will do some more. If you have any other questions, then comment them down below and maybe I will answer them in another video, or I will answer them in my reply to you. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Be sure to subscribe if you're not already subscribed already. Be sure to follow me on Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat. I've been posting a lot on my Snapchat story and Instagram story, and also follow me on YouNow because I live stream almost every day. So yeah, I love you all so much and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye everyone!